Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial on IT.tutorials. I am Josef Bodnar. I'm inviting you to another tutorial here on IT.tutorials. This tutorial has the goal to talk about ASP.NET controls, mainly about text box, label, and button. These are the main controls used in ASP.NET. ASP.NET has a huge number of controls, so that means I'm going to do a few tutorials regard to controls. So this is a first tutorial regard to controls. To highlight how to work with controls in ASP.NET, I'm going to make a simple application named calculator, which is going to perform simple arithmetic operations like addition, multiplication, and division. So let's start creating a new ASP.NET web form page. So click on create a new project. To reduce the number of searching inside this list, I suggest you to select C# and web, and you just select this ASP.NET web application, and inside the parentheses you have to have .NET framework. After you selected this at least once, this will appear here on the left side, and you can, the next time you just select ASP.NET web application .NET framework from this list located on the left side, as you can see. Alright, so select this and click on next button. Here write the name of your application. I'm going to write calculator, and I'm going to write here also, because I think I've got this project, and I'm going to write here 01, or I'm going to write here EN from English. All right, okay, and click on create button, select empty, click on create button, and wait until you get this interface inside the Visual Studio. We don't need this actually. Let's close it. Let's go and release Solution Explorer. Select your project, right click with your mouse, select add, and select web form. I'm going to name it index. Yeah, and click on OK button. Here you go. Here is this file. As you can see, we have here HTML elements like HTML, head, body, and so on. We have this div element, which is a block element in HTML. If you want to work with design, you just click on design, and design editor will appear. If you want to work with the code, you just click on source, and here is the code. If you want to split the design and the code, you just click on split, and the code and the design will be split, and you can see both. You can see both of them. Yeah. Okay. You can use HTML elements inside your ASP page. I'm going to write here calculator. Yeah, and I want to highlight this, and I want to bold this. Yeah, I go here above, and I select from this list heading 1, and as you can see, this text was highlighted, was bolded, and this HTML element H1, which is a heading element, was put in here. Yeah, it's appearing here inside this index file. So this is a HTML element. All right. Now let's drag a few controls, a few ASP.NET controls. All these are ASP.NET controls. So I am going to drag first a label. All right, you can do either here. You can drag either here inside the code, the control, Also, you can change here the properties. If you want to change the text, you just go here, where is this text property, and change this label text with your text, like number 1. Yeah, as you can see, the text was changed. Also, you can drag another control like a text box here on design. Here you go, and you can use the properties in those if you want to change the properties of this text box control. I'm going to write a name for this text box, like txt number 1, because I'm going to use this name inside the C# code, and I'm not going to change the font. That's all for this control. I'm going to drag another label here. Yeah, let's drag it here under this. Okay, let's change the text. Number 2. And let's drag a text box by this label. Okay, let's change the name for this text box, txt number 2. Okay, click on refresh. Now let's drag a few buttons down here. I'm going to change the name for this button, which I'm going to use it inside the C# code, btn addition. Okay, btn addition. So this button will perform the addition operation when the user will click on it. Refresh. Okay, here I'm going to write this plus sign, which means addition. Yeah, and let's change from properties window the font to be bold, change the value to true, the size, let it be larger. Yeah, and let's change the width. All right, now select, copy, and paste twice. Okay, go back and change the sign with the multiplication sign, and the name of the button, btn multiplication. All right, and another one, change the sign to division and change the name to btn division. Okay, here you go. So all these are ASP controls. As you can see, we have this keyword ASP before the name of the controls, and after is the name of controls button, or another control is text box, label, and so on. Now let's use a HTML control. You can use from this toolbox to drag HTML controls using this component HTML. Click on this arrow, which will be expanded, and here you will find HTML controls. Anyway, before that, let me to tell you that now this toolbox is stuck here on the left side because this pin is oriented down vertical. Yeah, if I change the orientation, click on it, as you can see, now the toolbox is floating. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, if you want to stick this on the left side, you just change the orientation of this pin, and the toolbox will be stuck on the left side. If you don't have toolbox on the left side, or another side, or you by mistake close the toolbox, you just go here on view, look for toolbox and click on it, and the toolbox will appear again on the left side. Yeah. All right, so let's drag a HTML button. Okay, so this is a HTML control, namely a button. As you can see, the first difference is the HTML is using this keyword, this tag actually is called tag in HTML, input, and after the type of the control, which is button. Yeah, and here you can change the name. Where is this attribute value? The name of the button. Yeah, that's right, like add. Yeah, let's refresh it, and as you can see, the name appear here on the button. Yeah, and ASP control, as you can see, has this keyword ASP. Yeah, another difference is this property runout, which has this value server, which means the ASP controls is running on the server, while the HTML controls doesn't run on the server, and HTML controls are not dynamic. They are working on a static page, while ASP.NET controls are working on the server, and they are dynamic. What does it mean, dynamic? Dynamic means the content of the controls could be changed by user, while the content of the HTML controls cannot be changed. They remain as they were set inside the code. Also, if I give a double click on this ASP button, as you can see, this will lead me inside the C# page, the C# file, where I'm going to write the code for that button. That button will perform something because I'm writing the code here in C#. While if you want this button, I double click on this HTML button, and this is going to take me here inside this file, the main file, this index.aspx. And in order to make this button to perform something, I have to write a JavaScript code. So these are the main differences between using ASP controls and HTML controls. So let me to remove this HTML button. Yeah. All right. And now I'm going to start to write the code for these three buttons to perform the arithmetic operations which is attached to this button, which I want to attach to this button. The first one will perform the addition operation. Yeah, so double click on it, and let's go first here, up here, and remove the namespaces which I don't need, namespaces which I'm not going to use inside the code. Yeah, to clean a bit the code, and let's declare a few integer init variables like number1, number2, and result. Yeah, and further I'm gonna to use this variable number1 to take over the value from the text box, from this text box, from this text box, which has the name txt number1. Yeah, yeah. But because all the controls, the data type is string, and the variable is integer init, as you can see, I have to convert the number entered into text box to integer. So that's why I'm going to use this parse method to convert the string to integer. Yeah, and I'm going to use here inside the parse method, inside the parentheses of parse method, this txt number one with this property text, which is the name of the text box. Yeah, all right. The same code about will appear on the next line. I'm gonna to change number 1 to number 2, and here as well the text box, which is going to be txt number 2. Yeah, all right. And the result variable will store the result, the addition result between these two variables, number 1 and number 2. Yeah, and I need here also a label which will display the result of these arithmetic operations. To do so, I'm gonna to write here this HTML element HR, which will drag a line under these buttons. Let's refresh. As you can see, this line. Yeah. All right, and after I'm gonna to drag another label, another ASP control, this label here. Yeah, and this time I'm gonna to name this label LBL result, because I'm gonna use this name inside the C# code, and I don't need this property text because I want this label to be empty. Okay, good. Let's see the result, how this looks. So here you go, the text boxes, the buttons. Yeah, good. Yeah, the code is not done yet. So actually these buttons doesn't do anything because the code is not done. I started to do the code behind this plus button. That's why I received that exception. But here is nothing. That's why these two buttons doesn't perform anything. Yeah. All right. So let's go back behind this button where I write code. I'm writing the code for this button, and this label actually will hold the result of addition operation between two numbers, between two integer numbers, which is held by this integer variable result. But as I told you, because all the controls has a string type, so this label, it is a control, so I have to convert the integer type of this variable result to string. So I'm going to write here result, and I'm going to convert the integer value of this variable result to string using this method to string. Yeah, semicolon. All right, let's release again this app, this web app. Let's shrink this web browser a bit. So let's write here two numbers like 50, and let's write here 100. Click on plus button, and here you go. This is the result, 150. Yeah, but I don't like how this looks. This should be bolded, should be highlighted, and it's good to write here a text. Yeah. Okay, so let's change it. How we do this? First, I go back here. I select the plus button, properties, and I go here. Where is the size? And the size, in my opinion, it's fine. Larger. The bold is true. And no, sorry, I need this label actually. Here, for this label, I have to set the font, which should be true. The size of the font to be larger. Okay. So that's all. I think this is fine. Save all. Let's go back behind this button and let's write here a text. The result is colon space. Yeah, we have here a error because now what I'm doing, I'm concatenating two string. So that's why I have to use this plus operator to concatenate these two strings. Yeah. Even this variable result has this type integer in it because I use this method to string. The value which is held by this variable is now a string because it was converted by this method to string. Yeah. So now actually I concatenated two strings. Okay, let's see the result. Let's release this. All right, let's make this smaller, this browser. All right, 50, 100, click on plus button, and here you go. The result is 150. It looks much better, isn't it? All right, so let's write the code behind another two buttons. But before that, let's see here if everything is all right. Yeah, let's remove the space here. Okay, good. Now let's double click on this button. Let's copy and paste in here this code because it's similar. Just we have to change the type to double because the result of multiplication usually is bigger, and here for conversion I have to use now double instead of integer. Yeah, so double. Okay, that's all. Yeah, now double click on this button. Yeah, sorry, here where is the multiplication button, I have to change the operator to multiplication. Yeah, let's copy and paste again. All right, and the type is going to be the same for division, and here I have to change the operator from multiplication to division. Yeah. All right, let's save. Let's release this application, this web application again. All right. Let's reduce the size of this browser. Okay. 50, 100 plus, the result is 150. Multiplication, the result is 5000. And division, the result is 0.5. Yeah. So we can change this, and again, the result of addition operation is 300, 20,000 for multiplication, and for division is 2. As you can see, the result of this label, because here we have a label, isn't it? If I go here on design, you can see we have here a label. Yeah. So this is a dynamical page. So you can change the content of the controller as it is needed, as the user wants. So you can change this, as you can see. So this is a dynamical web page. You can't do this with HTML. Just if you write JavaScript code. Yeah, you can make it a dynamical. You can make it a dynamic, a HTML page, if you are gonna to use JavaScript together with HTML. So that was all for today. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. I'm waiting for you to watch my other video tutorial. See you next time. Bye bye.